This is the restaurant deck. Early morning, it's about 7:15. We start breakfast at 7:30, another 15 minutes or so. Nice and calm and quiet Christmas morning. And that's the sun coming up over the mountains way back east, kissing the property. This is looking towards downtown, then over to the west end. Still pretty early, not really anybody out here on the beach. It'll definitely pick up later. All right, Merry Christmas, everyone. Today we're going to do a little tour, very short tour. Okay, so of course, starting here at Travelers, and we'll probably go up maybe 2 miles, maybe. We'll see. See where the legs take us. I'm not gonna run hard at all today. Did 17 miles yesterday, so definitely taking it relaxed today. But let's get started. Start my watch, and we're going. I realized very quickly that this is probably not going to be the best footage of me running on the beach in terms of the shakiness. Because if I turn my camera around, it's going to get way more shaky. But I will stop and film where and when I can. All right, just ran up by Albert's. It's maybe like half a mile from Travelers. Used to have a lot of live music. I still think there's live music here, but not what it once was. If those remember what it was like back in the day. But they also have like beach volleyball tournaments, or they used to at least. And I do believe that this is where they're going to be doing fireworks from on New Year's Eve. At least they used to from that barge out there. All right, Alfred's, let's keep it moving. All right, we're still going here for about a mile and a quarter in, up by Margaritaville, and looks like we're gonna hit 2 miles, so I think we are. But hold on, I'll show you exactly where we are. We got Margaritaville, and Travelers is, where's Travelers? Somewhere over there. We'll figure it out. I think it's over there. We'll figure it out. We'll keep going up. Gonna keep it moving. All right, just hit the turnaround points. We are just at Beaches, at the end of Beaches. A little over 2 miles in. Feeling good. Still pretty cool out here. The sun is like not beaming at this point, so it's pretty nice. I think it's around 7:30. I can't check my watch right now, but let me give you an idea of where we are. 1 second. So that's heading back downtown. I don't think you can see Travelers because it's on the bend, but that's where we came from. This is the rest of the beach. So you got Hedonism, then Point Village right at that tip right there, and then of course Booby Cay Island. What else is left here? You basically have Long Bay, which is a public beach. That's where Reggae Marathon ends, so which is like kind of right tucked away over there. And then after that, you have Azul. Then you have Boardwalk. And there's one in between, but I forget the name of it. And then after Boardwalk is Sandals. And then right next to Sandals is, so that's Sandals right there. And then right next to Sandals is Hedonism. And that pretty much is the end of the beach, so to speak, at least on the northern end. And then Then you go into Bloody Bay, which is the other 2 miles that I always talk about, which is where the reuse are. And can't really get over there right now. Or I think you have to be staying over there. I feel like you can get there somehow, but I don't know how, like publicly that is. But yeah, this is beaches. This is what we were talking about on the last live stream I did on Wednesday about their new rooms that they have here. And this is gonna be beautiful because like look what you have to look at and wake up to every morning is the ocean. It's like right there the whole time. Morning, yes. So yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful, beautiful view. I don't know which these are or what they are, but like, you know, at Sandals, obviously they're gonna do a marvelous world-class job with these things. Maybe we'll get a tour. You know, when it's all said and done, would love to do a tour and see what that view is like and what the rooms and everything are like. But, oh wait, you can see, I guess that's like the rendition right there of what they're gonna look like. Let's go take a look real quick. Hope I'm not intruding or impeding, but I always get excited about this stuff, especially when it has to do with Negril and investing here. And like I've been saying, you know, they're obviously seeing a lot of potential and are very bullish on Jamaica and Negril, as am I. All right, a little bit of a rant, but let's get back home. All right, just stopped here at Couples, which is another very nice all-inclusive off the beach here. I believe it's adults only, but definitely called Couples. It's made for couples, right? And yeah, probably got a mile and a half to the end of the beach, which we're not running that way. We're actually gonna be running back down this way. Got less than 20 minutes to go. I'm gonna keep it moving, but this was nice lighting, so I figured I'd stop and share. Forgot that I did a leg workout last night too, after running those 17 miles in the morning. That's really why my legs are feeling a little wobbly. Just sharing where I'm at right now. So a lot of people ask me about where a good vegan place to go is, and this is where I send everybody. Rasta Aid. I've actually never eaten here, but everybody tells me it's really, really good. This is about half a mile up from Travelers, half a mile north from Travelers. A little more than half a mile, yeah. Slightly over half a mile. But cool spot. I'll get here some point and have some food and be able to personally recommend it at some point in time. But I hear great things, great reviews. Again, everybody I send here is very happy with it. Rasta Aid. All right, back to it. And that's all she wrote. Back to Travelers. We did 41 minutes together. 4.34 miles, 4.35 miles, I should say. 9:35 per mile pace. Contemplating jumping in the water, but it's a little late. So I think that's it. I think we're gonna stretch it out, call it a day. Hope you guys enjoyed that tour, mini tour. If you like it, we can do it again. We can show off some more properties and different parts of the beach at a later time when we do this again, if you want me to do this again. But that was fun for me, nice and relaxed, no worries. Anyway, back to the regularly scheduled program. See you guys later. Afternoon, everyone. There I am. Happy Sunday. Hope you all are doing well. It's kind of hot here today. Threatening rain. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we need it. I hope you all are doing well out there and you had a great week. got a couple things to go over today, which I'm excited to do. Let's do. Go. But it is a beautiful beach day, nonetheless. But you can't really see it. But there's some gray clouds on like the northern. Well, we're looking north, but I guess northeast part of the sky there. But as usual, let me know where you're chiming in from, what city, what state, what country. Little on the sick side. I've been battling this cold for the last week or so. And that I did a triathlon yesterday unexpectedly, which we'll talk about. I don't think that was necessarily a good idea. Anyway, let's hop into the comments. What's going on, Natalie? Yeah, please hit the like button. That would really help. RN2C. Oh, good to see you, man. Thanks for joining. 2050. Good to have you. Garden Duncan will be there next week. Awesome. Exciting. I know you're excited. I'm excited. What's going on, Joe? No worries. Justin, you missed the last couple of Sundays. We had I shown your video the last couple of Sundays as well. We'll show it a little later, so no worries. Happy Sunday to you, Vivine. Hey, Verna. And hello, Donna says that beach walk from travelers to couples swept away is my 6:30 a.m. daily ritual when at Travelers. Yeah, it's a nice walk. I'm trying, especially since I hurt my knee. I'm trying to go for walks now. I'm gonna try to go for a walk after this. I just feel like I don't enjoy the beach as much as I should, being that it's here and I see it every single day, and I work from here every single day, but I never really get to enjoy the 7 mile, which is a real shame. But I think walking is a wonderful way to really appreciate this beach. And depending on what time we get out of here and packing up and everything, I'll probably take a walk on the beach. Mystical, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Happy Sunday to you, Suzette. Wagwan Phil. Good to have you, Tisha. Happy Sunday to you. Donna Bryce says, I hear that there's a hotel going up behind Rasa 8 and they will have to move. Oh, I don't know. I can't even tell where that is. Like on the roadside. Like I know it from the beach. I know it's next to rooms, but I can't remember what's on the roadside. I just have to pay a little bit more attention when I'm driving along that way. What's going on, Corey? Chiming in from Miami. Happy Sunday, Michael. Good to see you. Good to have you on here. Miss Go's asking to do that beach run again. Yes, we'll do that. Maybe we'll do a beach walk since I can't really run right now. And then it's chiming in from the Sunshine State. Natalie says, happy Sunday. Yes, it's hot, but it's supposed to rain. Nice finally meeting you last Sunday. Nice meeting you as well. Yeah, hopefully we get that rain. Afternoon, K White. Happy Sunday. Shanna, you're welcome. Joe, no problem. Simone, what's going on? All the channel members chiming in at the same time. Awesome. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Greetings, Throp and Throppers from Atlanta. Norma, as usual, the water is calling. Happy Sunday, everyone. Yeah, it is beautiful. Really, really beautiful today. All right, let's get into what should we start with here? Oops, didn't mean to. I wanted to go over. I guess let's go over the weekend, and then I did want to go over the last video that I released yesterday. I thought it was worth. Yeah, I thought it was worth us watching together. I think there are some really, really good excuse me. I thought there were some really, really good points. This is with the agency. If you haven't seen it, actually it's on my hard drive. I have it on my external hard drive. We'll watch that. We'll watch that a little bit later. Let's go through the weekend real quick. Um, Also paying attention to the Knicks. If you don't know, all right. Let's get into what we got to talk about. I'm trying to look at scores here. All right, so so this past weekend, like the last few days, actually, I was in Treasure Beach, which was really, really nice. Always love getting away there. I think it's um I don't know, it's a really, really special place. I was talking about it with my friend and he's like saying the same thing. It's just like a great place to go to rejuvenate, way more chill, way more laid back than Negril. And it has always been my not only my spot, but my family spot to go to just kind of relax and rejuvenate as mentioned. And I just happened to be there. Honestly, I didn't know that they were having the Jake's Triathlon, which is an annual off. It's the longest running off-road triathlon in the world, and they have it every year. The only year they didn't have it was COVID, and I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know it was there, and then going to happen that weekend. And then there was a team that needed a swimmer, and so I can't run, I can't bike or anything like that. So I guess I could have biked, but definitely couldn't have ran. But anyway, they needed a swimmer, and I said, hey, no problem, I'll hop in, and I hopped in on a team, which I was very happy to do. And we it was fun. Like I said, I was sick, probably not the best idea to do it, but it was so fun just kind of getting back into racing again for me personally. But it just so sorry about that. Our network keeps going down. I don't know why or what's happening. But anyway, let me share my screen here with you. And these are just some pictures from the event. This is Carlisle. He's the winner. He wins every year. He's won multiple years in a row. Amazing, great triathlete. Also, his daughter is like one of one of like the best performing triathletes in Jamaica as well. Young, she's 17, and you're just telling me um essentially she's at the pace and place in her career where she has to choose a discipline, you know, either running, biking, or swimming, or I don't know, maybe she wants to be a pro triathlete. But just something, you know, Jamaica should be, and someone in a family that Jamaica should be really, really proud of. And this is a winner as the female winner, and she always wins every year as well. Really did an awesome job. First female. Her name escapes me. And then there's just some pictures from it. This is cool. And then you got me, your boy, posing. That wasn't actually my bib number, but gotta do it for the camera. This is the finishing shoot. This is the start here. I feel like I'm in one of these pictures. Hold on. Maybe I saw it somewhere else. Maybe there was a drone shot. I remember seeing myself. I went out just so fast. Way, 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 way too fast. And I gassed out super early. And I was just brushstroking it in. Honestly, it was just one of those things, race rust, right? But really, like really awesome event. Such like a great it's a like Treasure Beach in general is like a great place to meet your family. And then Jake's the hotel. They're the ones who put it on this event. It's a charity event. And that place is just so nice as well. Like it is such like a crazy family run hotel. Like the whole family is there and greeting, mingling, talking with guests and everything like that. And you could tell like they have a crazy repeat rate, as Jason Hensel, he's the proprietor. He's like talking to everybody. His mom is there as well, sitting down and chatting, like true Jamaican hospitality, family hospitality. And you really feel at home. You really feel welcome there. And another great event. So kudos to all of the all the organizers for the event. I wish I could have done it. I'm definitely gonna do it next year, all being well. Hopefully I can heal up, and the knee is good for next year. Just letting you know, the Knicks have won 97-92. We are up 3-1. Amazing. That's awesome. My friends are at the game right now. Let me just check the group chat right quick. They haven't sent anything yet, but this is awesome. This hasn't happened since this sort of excitement since, I would say, man, I was in elementary school. All right. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. But yeah, and like so I was also saying, like, while I was there in Treasure Beach, like I was just like very, it's just very grateful to be there, and very grateful to like live in a place that I just like an hour away I can go and enjoy something like that. And then also seeing so many other Jamaican families come to this event, participate. And it's just like such an important, in my mind, like such an important event for Jamaica, and that it's something that we do support. And yeah, here come the text messages from the game. Like just something that we support as a country, and especially with young kids coming up as well, because they also have a kids triathlon as well. I think that's important. And then next year they're going to actually have a separate 5K. So if you didn't want to do um if you didn't want to do like all three disciplines, you can just come in and just do one. Like currently I have the course record for like the running portion. I'm sure somebody, like, if they're gonna do a 5K alone, I'm sure somebody's gonna come in next year and beat that record. And hopefully I was trying to actually work with Carlisle to see if he could break my record on Saturday. And we were Friday night, we were like trying to conspire like how he'd be able to do it. But he didn't quite make it, but he got first place nonetheless. But that course record is up for grabs. Donald Rice says, I heard that there was an award for the women's relay at Jake's in memory of Jill Stewart. Yeah, that's right. So for those who don't know, Jill Stewart is the wife of Adam Stewart, who sadly passed away last year. And like Donna is saying here, Adam Stewart is the CEO of Sandoz Beaches. And as Donna saying, they have dedicated an award in her honor and her memory. at this triathlon because she was an athlete, she was a runner, she's a triathlete as well. So very very cool and well deserved. I'm glad they did that. Shannon says you're doing sports commentary and talking about JA. Yep, yep. Because I mean, if I was in New York, I would have. Because my friends went to Philly to the game, I would have definitely went with them. This says, "Let's go, Knicks. Let's go." I gotta put my phone on silent. Starting to come in. So yeah, that was kind of my weekend, and then I went to yesterday. I went to a party, a day party in White House at this place called Osmond Villa, and I went to a party there before a few months ago. Beautiful villa. But we've talked about this before with White House, like this becoming like a villa haven. And I had, a matter of fact, my birthday party was at a villa in White House, Seastone Villa, my 40th birthday party, and it's just really beautiful there. And not my this is a criticism that White House gets, that there is nothing to do there, which is true. There's not much going on there, but it is very naturally beautiful, and it's yeah, essentially between Negril and Treasure Beach, I would say, more or less. And they're just like some really beautiful places. And at the party, I thought it was a great get together for people. And also I thought it was like great networking, and I feel like events like that are very important to have. A lot of people came in from Kingston, and I don't have a lot of opportunity to network and mingle with people in Kingston, so it's kind of nice that they came out to White House and met a few new folks doing different types of businesses and doing great things in Jamaica. Young people doing great things in Montego Bay, great things in Kingston. And you just start you realizing that there are like other people out there who have like very high hopes and just very bullish on Jamaica. And it's nice to see that so many young people feel that way, and that you have a lot of like-minded individuals who are different industries than I am, or each other. And it was just kind of cool hanging out with them and mingling with them. And yeah, that was nice. It was just like a very nice Jamaica weekend for me, and week, I would say, being on the southern part of the island, and really appreciate it. So I say all that to say, like, I hope when you all get down here at some point in time that you're able to do something similar, whether that's for you here in the grill or doing road trips. I always say like Jamaica is like one of the best countries for road trips, just so amazing. Like I really love driving around the island. Hopefully, being able to do it like in a leisure manner and stopping for fruits and getting something to eat, sightseeing, enjoying the coastline. But there are just like so many, I would say, so many nooks and crannies in Jamaica. No, even if you've taken that drive already, there's something new to be explored. And I think it's just a great I think it's just like great to have to have this in my backyard. And again, for all you when you visit, you know, go around. I think it's awesome. Tisha says they also renamed Mo Bay 5K run after Jill as well. Yep, I heard that too. Yeah, yeah, very fitting. Demon Warrior Gamer says hi. What's up? Hope you keep on winning. Thank you. Appreciate that. Lloyd Roberts says, Yonkers, New York, always a pleasure to tune in. This is the channel. This is the channel where you can visit for constructive real estate conversation with knowledge of what to expect whenever you're thinking about Jamaica. Hello, Lisa. Thanks for chiming in. Happy Sunday to you as well. Demon Warrior Gaming says, who's going to be at the party? Oh, no, this is a party that happened yesterday, actually, that was in White House. So this is past tense, but they're going to be doing it every month. And I guess I'll check with the promoter and see if it's okay to promote here on the channel, because I would just do it because I just think it's a great event, and it's a great initiative that I think we need more of. uh, and to push more. So we will. I'll see, and I'll be more than happy to promote it here. And if you happen to be on the side of the island or near there, I'm sure they would love to have you. Jay's views. Asking about how's the water situation currently in the grill. It's the same essentially. It's the same. Not much has changed as far as I know. I mean, I've been away for a few days, so unless something has happened or has changed in the last few days. But even when I was in Treasure Beach, that's all everybody was asking me about. How's the water? What's going on with the water? So it's a very well known challenge that we're facing here, but nothing of substance has changed as far as I'm aware. I'll look into it a little bit more this week and to see if there are things happening or in the pipeline, so to speak. Hopefully, it's water in the pipeline, but I don't know of anything changing at this point. But I'll definitely keep everybody up to date and keep everybody posted. Shanna says, unfortunately, most Jamaicans that live in JA don't take advantage of their island. There's so much beauty to explore. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And so nice, and it's a very, and I don't mean to jinx this, but yeah, everybody says it. It's there. It's just like it's such a safe place there. It's like Treasure Beach, very small, close knit community, and it's just. I mean, it's just. I don't know. It's just good. I don't know. I feel very proud. Like, I was about to say, and I said this like when I came back from Colombia, and this is not saying anything bad about Colombia, but it is what it is. But like, you go to a place like Treasure Beach, whether you're at Jake's or Sunset. I always stay at Sunset Resort when I'm there, which is just one over from Jake's. Beautiful family-owned property owned by the Souths, and I'm there sitting down editing all day. I don't fear like somebody is gonna come and take my laptop or take my cell phone, and that goes for both the property. And I'm not saying like telling you to be careless or anything like that, but that's just like the feeling that I get. Even at the party yesterday, everybody we're on the beach. It's a private beach. It's a private villa, of course, and it's for a certain caliber people. I'm not gonna hide that. It was 100 US to get into, and then on top of that, like you can buy a cabana for $1,500. Almost like, oh, that includes like bottles and everything, which I didn't do. But it was just like so good to see, just like so many young people that can afford to do something like that. And then, going into the villa, like all you saw was like you saw Porsches, you saw Range Rovers, you saw I don't know a lot about cars, but BMWs and Mercedes Benz, like so, like a lot of luxury cars, like you had to walk by to actually get to the beach. And so it's just like a one of those indications to me. It just says like Jamaica isn't like a rich country by any means, but it's Jamaica is not a country that I would say that they can't stand up on its own. And like kind of relating that back to real estate, when you look at like many of the developments that we've been talking about, it's like a lot of those are being bought up by local Jamaicans, and like everybody, like all the most of the people who I was talking to yesterday at the party, like we were talking about business. We were talking about this idea. Could this work here? We are talking about like different things. Like one of the longer conversations that I was having was about developments that are happening in Montego Bay, particularly the Price Mart, which we talked about here, the Price Mart going to Montego Bay, and a few other big name brands that haven't been confirmed, but are going to supposedly going to be in that area as well. And yeah, it was just nice that like there was just like a large group of people, and it was close knit. I want to say like I guess 100 people, I want to say, which is a decent amount.
Just just says I was at an uptown party. I guess. But like, is there? And then they were saying this there is like, is this really uptown? Like, is like in terms of like this happening in Westmoreland? A party of that caliber. Like, and that's what I'm saying. It doesn't happen often. It doesn't really happen often that something like that comes together and those kind of people come together. And it's just, and we're just like great. And I met an architect there who he's doing, oh man, I forget where he's doing his project. No, it's here in Westmoreland. He's doing it here. And it's just like these people, these young persons are really doing like really amazing great things that are moving and pushing the country forward in big ways. And they're very ambitious, they're very confident, very smart. And I was like, this is awesome. This is awesome. Like, I felt very much a part of this movement and this pushing forward of Jamaica and pushing forward of the island. And my point in even bringing that up is just like also like being at something like that again, comparing to Colombia, is like everybody's cell phones are out, like wallets, like somebody lost, quote unquote, lost their GoPro, and it was just somebody took it up because it started raining and they moved it and they got it back. So it was just like a nice environment to be in that sense. And I'm sure in Colombia that there are elements and experiences like that. I'm sure. But like I didn't experience that, and I just always felt like just had to your head had to be on a swivel a little bit, and I didn't put my cell phone down, my laptop down, anywhere. And again, I'm not encouraging you to do that here. Definitely not New York or anywhere, but it was just there's like it was okay. Is what I guess so. It was what I'm trying to say. It's okay. All right. Gambi and greetings to you. Travel Eon says, "Is Jamaican who travel know how much of a powerful country Jamaica is?" I find that to be extremely, extremely true, and I feel like well-traveled people in general really appreciate Jamaica, and you really understand how special of a place this island is globally speaking. And yes, especially as a Jamaican, a Jamaican who travels, I think it's a huge advantage, huge, huge advantage. And I think coming back and perhaps even like learning something from abroad in terms of your experience, and then like coming back and like say, hey, this could work here, or hey, oh, we do this so much better than XYZ place, kind of thing. And yeah, there is a appreciation for that. Joe says, did those people earn their money in J, or do they earn money overseas and invest in Jamaica? Are you talking about the people at the party, Joe? I'm assuming that's who you're talking about. As far as I could tell, um, okay, so the people I was talking to, they made all their money in Jamaica. Everybody that I was talking to, every single person, and I'm just thinking back to like the different conversations that I had, it was all in Jamaica. All seemingly doing well from the conversations that we had, the projects that they're working on, seemingly doing quite well here in Jamaica. And yeah, they are investing. Yeah, definitely investing in Jamaica. Oren says, "Good day, Throp. I never feel unsafe in Jamaica, no matter where I go. Uh, Jamaican people are generally warm. People who are killed are involved in feud for the most part. I feel unsafe only on the roads." Yeah, and I was just thinking this too. I was like, I feel like I know, people like to focus on, and it's important to like focus on the violence, like without a doubt, like it's important. But like, I also feel like we don't talk enough about the like road fatalities. Like, I think it's so bad, and I don't know where we fall globally, like in terms of fatalities on the road per capita kind of thing. but man, I think it's just so bad, and perhaps not talked about enough. And I know there are measures that are being put in place to slow people down, ticket people, uh, all these things that we would expect from the government to make the roads safer. But it definitely is a concern. Definitely is a concern, and you really do have to be a defensive driver here and drive for other people, because man, I saw some horrific things that happened over the last week or so around the island, and it's like really, really sad, like really sad. Um, but yeah, I feel like that needs a little bit more attention and it needs to be pushed a little bit more. I do hope I mean, who knows? But I was thinking about the road network, the highways that are coming on board, that there are measures put in place to mitigate against road fatalities. And usually it's most of the times it's like it's carelessness. It's usually one driver just going way too fast and innocent people get hurt. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. I agree. I agree. I think there should be more precedent set on on slowing drivers down, ticketing. I even think the punishments of the fines are too low. Anyway, we can talk about that some other time. But thanks for the point. Sherry K says, I have learned so much about my island just watching and listening to you. I'm constantly sharing these videos with my family and friends. Thank you so much, Sherry. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm happy to hear that you're enjoying the content. Lloyd Roberts says, Red Hills in Kingston was without water since last week. They just got it turned on today. Why is there so many water issues in an island of wood and water? Um, I mean, we're in a drought. We're in a drought. And I don't know what the situation is in Red Hills or how common that is. What I could tell you, what we're experiencing here in Negril, it's like this is unprecedented to be like literally without water for months and months. And it's just, everybody's scratching their heads like, can we get like a true explanation, which I don't think would we have at least one that as a community we're satisfied with at this point. And so I don't know what's going to come of it, what's going to happen, but it is it is a very unfortunate predicament to be in. Sorry, I keep coughing. Trying to push through here. Yeah, it's a very precarious situation to be in, and really, really, really unfortunate. And I will do, like I said earlier, I'll do my best to follow up and see what's happening, and see what's going on, and seeing if any significant, substantial progress has been made as far as Waterford and Grill goes. What's going on, Mosaic Travel? Checking in from Atlanta. Good to see you. Tisha says, "Have you kept in touch with Bless Up Jestrop? She's living her best life in Kingston." I have. We texted the other day, but just kind of like a check-in situation. But have not bumped into her since. But I'm sure, like I said, we said in the video, I'm sure we're gonna do something again at some point in time. She's gonna be here for some. She's gonna be here for a while. Delroy says the water problem is because of the politicians' inability to develop and manage a viable system. I mean, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, it is the state's responsibility to provide adequate amount of water, and the system needs investment, and it is, and it's coming. The long-term plans are in place. Where we are along that timeline, I'm unsure, but there is a long-term plan to be able to reroute water all over the island. And that was one of the discussions that we were having yesterday at that party in White House. It's just like where Jamaica is gonna, like, it was just like this excitement where Jamaica is gonna be in 10 years from now. We were talking about the highway. A lot of it was focused on Montego Bay, and I will say, even this is an anecdote, like coming off of the real estate conference, the International Real Estate Conference and Homeowners Expo the other week, couple with just like conversations that happened there, and then this conversation that I had last night. Like Montego Bay has got to be one of the hottest real estate locations in Jamaica right now. I'm talking about like red hot. It has to be the red hot market at this point. I don't know. Has it taken over? Has it taken over Kingston? A few years ago, like 2-3 years ago, it was like crazy, crazy construction. I'm not sure, but again, from the conversations that I've been having with realtors, the entrepreneurs that I was talking with yesterday, it seems like it's crazy, crazy hot right there right now, Montego Bay, and it looks like it's gonna be. And I know they said 10 years, but less than 10 years, that is going to be a completely changed city in like biggest of ways, but especially with the highways and that whole Price Mart area. I mean, that whole Iron Shore area is going to be totally different, totally different. And it's exciting. I don't know all the details. I was just like getting it from these guys who were like in the trenches of making this happen. Like me and another guy were like making assumptions off of what we heard. He's like, no, this is what's happening because I am doing it, kind of thing. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So he kind of really let us know what's happening and what's going on. And super, super, super exciting. And I'm really happy. I wasn't going to go to this party because like I was sick and I just did the triathlon. But I'm very happy that I did, because you get to network with dudes and gals like these people. There was one young lady there also. She was talking about, I guess she's in St. Anne, and she was saying that she was just talking about like how there was just too much development there, and they were like arguing back and forth that this is like, no, that's not true, kind of thing. But we've talked about that at length on this program. But it's just, again, cool to hear somebody who's living there and experiencing it, and seeing the difference. And they were talking about different places in St. Anne that I wasn't really familiar with, particularly like in the star, if you know what I'm talking about, the Starbucks and KFC area, like that new plaza. But yeah, again, cool conversation to have with these folks. Sorry, Delroy, I went completely away from your comment here. Um, so with the water, I do think that, like, again, long term, that this is going to be solved, and the government has every incentive in the world to solve this thing. But we obviously we're in a bad situation here in Negril, and we need some quick solutions. And also, I think a lot of very transparent communication would go a long way here, at least to have like just give us the truth about what's happening, kind of thing. I think it would go like a really long way in helping us, like, tighten our belts or whatever for this amount of time, and yada yada yada. But we're not really getting that. A Hicks watching from Connecticut with Marie, Soli, and kids. Hello, everyone. Shanna says it's raining heavy now, Mandeville. It was raining. It was raining very heavy on my drive from Treasure Beach to White House. We definitely need some of that rain. Definitely need some of that rain. Donna says some restaurants in Negril even have to close on days from lack of water supply. Small businesses have enough challenges without this. Yeah, my my guy Williams, he has a juice spot. Yeah, he has a juice spot at in Boardwalk Village, and he had to close. I don't know if he's still doing it, but I remember he had to close his juice spot because of the water situation, which is really unfortunate and ridiculous. Natasha chiming in from Atlanta. Good to see you. Oren says there are way too many rivers with millions of gallons of water running to the sea. We need proper medium and long-term planning to fix the water issue in Jamaica. We're not short of water. Agree. I don't think anybody can argue that. I don't think anybody can argue that we're short of water. It's the mechanisms to route them to route the water where it needs to go. So yeah, so hopefully, we continue to make a push for uh for these long-term solutions. Travel with Ian says the situation with water in Kingston is that the water storage reservoir are running low because of the dry season going on. Gotcha. Corey MPA says water issues are clearly due to government mismanagement. We all know this is the issue. CK says good afternoon from Notvat, Canada. In Canada, I don't know if I said that right. I would love to know when you'll be in East Portland, Blue Lagoon, Winifred, or Boston beaches. We need help showcasing the area. No, absolutely. We were trying to get there this summer. That was like our plan. That was our intention, but it's just not going to happen. We just have two. We're backed up in production right now, and I don't think it's going to happen. I really, really wanted to get there this year with the entire team. We had plans on being out there for like 2 weeks, but it's not. I don't think it's going to happen. It's not looking good, and it deserves our time and attention to be out there for this extended period of time. It really, really does. There's no point. We're going to do like a week or 5 days. That's not enough time. That's not enough time. So we're going to set ourselves up to put ourselves in a position to do it right and to be able to really tell the story of that area in a big way. And I know there are multiple storylines. Sherry says, just wondering if each parish should have a catchment area that feeds water throughout the parish. Don't know how feasible that would be. Just a thought. Yeah, I'm not sure. It sounds like a smart idea just from logic, but I don't know. Donna Bryce says, "Is it true that a large KFC is going up on the beach road?" I've heard that. I've heard Starbucks. I don't know. I don't know. I heard. I can't confirm it. Is what I'm saying because like I've heard like people say, "No, no, it's not going to be KFC. Nope, Starbucks is not coming." I don't know. I don't know, but it's still that plaza is still under construction right now, so it's right next to the hospital, Omega Medical Hospital. Orange says, Throp, is there an expansion of the parking lot at MBJ? What is that about? Seems construction going on there. Jamaica is truly on the move. Yeah, they are doing crazy expansion at the airport. Um, and this started. We've gone over this, and I feel like I've shared this here. I will try to hopefully try to find the document that was from I want to say 2017 or 2019. They've been working on this for quite some time, maybe even further back. But Jamaica knew that whatever time period that was, that by 2028, based on the pace at which Jamaica was growing and tourism was growing, that uh, at that current level, Montego Bay Airport, Sanctions International Airport, would not be able to house and efficiently and effectively get people through the airport by 2028. And so, there's an extension of the runway. Now there's like crazy construction. I haven't flew out in a long time. I've gone to the airport. Like when I say a long time, like a few months. So I don't know how far along that they've come with that. But yeah, they are expanding. They got rid of the gas station there. I'm sure you guys know. So that's no longer there. Or maybe they moved it, but it's not in its original spot anymore. And yeah, definitely need more parking, and they're working on that. And then even I don't know when's the last time everybody came through, but it's looking like a very like modern European airport. Like when you're going through the particularly the departure lounge, like very very modern. And I haven't experienced this, but I know some of you are telling me that when you came in, you you didn't talk to anybody. You just went to a machine with the electronic doors. You see what I'm doing, motioning, but you know what I'm talking about. So it's just so awesome. I think that Jamaica is just like it's not just like one thing happening in one area or one sector. It's like across the board. Like things are moving forward in a very meaningful way here in Jamaica. Tisha says, "Happy Sunday, everyone! Loving the interviews coming out of the recent real estate conference. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, we got a bunch more. I'm trying to I wanted to get one out today again, but didn't have time to just kind of snip it together. So we'll do one every week. Excuse me, we'll do one every day starting tomorrow again. So you'll get 5 new interviews this week, excuse me. And then we also have the education sessions, which I think we're gonna have to release like 2 a day because it's so many. I think we just got to go 2 a day at this point, and I know it's going to be a lot of content. Or maybe I don't want to put it on the paywall. Like, no, I was gonna say put it on Patreon, but because I want everybody to have access to this stuff. Because to me, it's like the more we all know collectively, the smarter we're gonna be, and the better we are gonna be in like pushing the country forward. It's just a matter of like, how do I get everything out, and then you don't miss everything, certain things, because it's just a lot of content, a lot of content. But I do think if not this week, next week, we're just gonna have to double up on certain days of pushing content out because there's no point in dragging this out. It's like let's just get it out to you all and get it out to the community, and share it with as many people as possible. CK says Portland is a hot real estate market that most people aren't paying attention to. So the video that we're going to watch today, which was the last video that I released on the real estate conference, is they do mention Portland. So we'll get into that. I think that's just stuck on Shanna. Corey says, "What's the latest on the Princess Hotel in the same waterline as the rest of Negril? Is that sorted out? Because when they go live, you all may suffer." So I've heard this. What Corey's referring to is that there's a rumor that the princess line is the Princess Hotel is like sucking the water from the grill. As far as I know, there's no evidence of that. I don't know. These are just rumors, so I can't say that is what's happening or anything like that. I can't say that because there's no evidence to say that's what's happening and why we don't have water in the rest of the grill. But this is what happens, right? When there is a lack of communication, clear communication, a lack of understanding by the community, then things will fester. Things I like crazy. I'm not saying this is crazy thought, I'm not saying that at all, but like crazy things will come up, crazy ideas and speculations and theories of why we don't have water will start to surface and will become truth. And we don't want that. We've been talking about the Princess Hotel, being this great asset to the side of the country, and I hopefully want to continue to believe that, but I don't know of any specific reasoning to point to that this is what is happening. I don't know personally, and I haven't. Nothing has come across my desk to say that that's what's happening, and that's the reason why we have been without water for such an extensive period of time. So I don't want to further that rumor because that's what it is right now. It's just a rumor, and I know a lot of people have been saying that, but I don't know. I don't know that to be factual. Demir says the grill needs some investment too. I agree. I think it's coming. There are certain plans, and I feel like maybe next year, the year after, you'll start to see some of these things in real life of people like plans, because we also have to remember that there is a lot of bureaucracy in the system, like in Jamaica in general. I mean, it just is what it is. And so the same thing when it comes to getting your building approvals and everything like that, it's just like there are steps and steps and steps and more steps. You have to, as a developer, as an investor, you have to diligently go through these steps and go from this level to the next level to the next level and patiently go through it, right? And so there are many projects that I know people have put in and have been working on for some time, but again, it takes time for these things to go through. And so like that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe in like a year or two, we'll actually start seeing approvals happen. Um, funding is being made, and then like the physical form of the construction will be taking place. At least that's what I think, and that's what I hope. Clary T, good to see you. Nice meeting you in person finally at the real estate conference. Lloyd Robert says, one thought maybe the government should negotiate with the Chinese engineers to look into the water situation the same way they did with the highways. So, like again, I think a lot of this stuff that the long term plans for the water situation, from what I've read and from what I've seen, they have they have solid they have solid plans, and like from what I've read, they look like they make sense of like about um the water infrastructure system throughout the island, but it's going to take time. I mean, I'm going to say time like years and years. So um we can't, and like this is what I'm thinking, and every hotel you're in Negril is thinking this. Like we can't go through the winter season like this. We can't go through, like, we're lucky this kind of happened at the tail end, at least the worst part of it, of the winter season, excuse me. So we can't go in, and who's to say how long is this going to last, right? But I couldn't imagine going into a Christmas, New Year's facing these water challenges that we're having now, not only from a hotel's perspective, but also the residents specifically. I mean, people are calling out of work because they can't take a bath. That's ridiculous. They can't send their kid to school. And this is like real stuff. And you can't, like, I can't, you can't argue with that. You can't, they can't wash their clothes. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. So, it's a strain on the system. It's in a big way, and we, like, certain things need to be put in place for the upcoming winter season. And we had a great winter season this past winter season as a tourism industry, and we hope to do even better this upcoming winter season. But we need the help with the water situation for sure. Let's see. CK says, How is Ian Fleming Airport doing? Is that American Airlines flight coming in twice per week? Do you have information on how it's doing? No, I don't. I will. Great question. I will follow up and to see if I can find out some information on that and get some updates. And fingers crossed. I hope it's doing well. I hope it's doing well, because I can imagine having that airport there is great for that region. Really, really great for that region, especially if you're a business person that travels. I don't know, that's probably only like a select few people, but like if you travel a lot and you need to go to Miami or wherever, having an airport 10 to 15 minutes away from where you live is just beautiful, beautiful. Ray Thomas says, Hi, Throp. Ray from California here. The people should demand that the government look into this desalinization plant to provide adequate water for the people. Jamaica sits on an ocean. Yeah, I think it needs to be looked into, but because, like, from what I heard with desalinization, that there are some environmental risks that could come along with it. I have no idea. I don't understand it. But to your point, to what you're saying, I think it should be looked into. I also understand it's very, very expensive, but perhaps it's worth it in other ways. Maybe like not indirectly is this a good investment, like dollar for dollar, so to speak. But there could be greater financial benefits in other ways, sort of not directly related to the desalinization plant. Donna P says, I thought Jamaica had only two airports, just learned Ian Fleming Airport when flying into Ocho Rios. Is this the more accessible than Montego Bay? I don't know about more accessible. It definitely doesn't have the flights that Montego Bay has. But as somebody asked earlier, there as CK asked about the how it's doing. I want to look into that, because obviously we need if it's going to continue, it needs to do well and it needs to be supported. Chilvas says, did you see 3-inch pipeline being placed in the last 3 years? No, I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. Tisha Moy says Westmoreland is up next for the real estate boom in Jamaica. I think so. I think that like there's like I was gonna say little things happening, but kind of significant things happening in Westmoreland. Of course, Negril is not Westmoreland. Let's be clear. I know it seems like it the way I talk, but I know that it's not. But there are other things, great um, developments, small and medium to large size developments, I would say, that are happening in the Westmoreland area as well, because the housing demand is really, really great here, particularly for residents. Um, and I've been getting quite a few inquiries about um, residential development opportunities for from people who are living abroad who are looking to move to Jamaica, but particularly looking to move to Negril. That's kind of like I'm seeing like a little bit more of an uptick on those types of inquiries happening. Claire T says, "Thanks so much for the informative content. As always, it was great to meet officially. I want to get to the bottom of where the tax dollars are going. Um, where I need to know where my tax dollars as a new landowner. I mean, that's the thing with like Jamaican taxes, like the way it works, it goes into somebody help me with this, the general pot, I forget what it's called, the general something, and basically it goes to the federal government, if you will, and then it gets dispersed. But it's not like Negril is making $1 billion in tax revenue, and then because Negril made $1 billion, that $1 billion is going to fix Negril's roads and this and that. No, that's not the way it works. I mean, if that were the situation, I mean, we would have the best roads in Jamaica, because we pull in what would I say? Just for lack of a better term, an unbalanced amount of tax revenue. But I get it, right? So it shouldn't be, I won't say it shouldn't, but imagine if that was the situation where Negril, perfect world, right? Negril is its own town, it's its own municipality, and the tax revenue that we make, whatever those taxes are, we get to put towards projects that we would see fit for our town and our community. But then, maybe some, you know, I don't want to pick on a parish, but maybe just let's stick with Westmoreland. Maybe our very rural community in Westmoreland that doesn't have anywhere close or anywhere near the tax revenue that Negril has. Imagine they just got totally forgotten about and they got nothing. But nonetheless, I do believe that like at some point we're gonna get to that point where that I believe the government it'll be incentivized where like you have like towns like Negril or Montego Bay that earn their certain tax revenue, and they can spend it. That municipality can spend it as they see fit, right? Hey, mine. Hello. Do you have a recommended realtor for Negril? What's your preferred contact style? Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for. If you can just shoot me an email, I can send you some info. If you can thropmedia.com, and I will send you. Just tell me exactly what you're looking for, and I can point you into the right direction with the right person. Connect you with the right person. Alfonso West says, Throp, what's up? Just checking in from a long, peaceful rest after the Lakers finally beat Denver. And the Knicks beat um, Philly today, too. So is it 2-1 or 3-1? Like the Lakers Denver. Let me know. I don't want to look it up while we're on live. Giova says, so why years and manpower in Jamaica is that can implement water infrastructure ASAP? I agree. That should be more a priority. Should be happening faster. Larry T says new road paving is happening on the west end. Is heading down to the old high low. Yeah, I know. I saw they started deep west. I want to go actually go check that out. I was driving there. I went to Jackie's actually, and they were deep west end paving the road. I was like, yo, this is crazy, and it looked Smooth, beautiful, actually beautiful. Mikhail Consolidation Fund. Thank you very much. That's what it goes to. So that's exactly what's happening. The taxes goes to this general consolidation fund, not to like individual towns or anything like that. Dr. Joni C says, Throp, isn't there where Western business operations and logic responsibilities and accountability plus come into play? Hotels handles no less than 50% water and infrastructure development. Um, I'm not too clear on what you're saying here. Rob, isn't this where Western business operations and logic responsibilities and accountability plus come into play? Hotel handles no less than 50% water infrastructure development. Give me some clarity on that, on what you're saying there, Dr. Joni. I just want to be able to address what you're saying accurately. Fondo says, Rob, I saw last week developers of the Pinnacle, both three pieces of lands in Westmoreland to develop, and they also said they're planning a project for Portmore that includes a big commercial mall. And so I don't know where you saw that, but they told me about, and I didn't want to like say anything. I didn't know I could say something, but they said they were coming to Westmoreland. I didn't know the one about Portmore. Um, but I knew they said yeah they were doing some stuff they were thinking about coming to Westmoreland and coming to this area, but they didn't have anything concrete or whatever. So I didn't want to bring that up. But that's cool that's public information now. K White says, how do you think Westmoreland would do with Airbnb to the Jamrock? Close to the Jamrock. Um, what Westmoreland has a lot of Airbnbs here. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Man, Lakers are down 3-1. You think they're gonna come back? You guys think they're gonna come back? That's hard to see. I mean, 3-2 would be incredible. I mean, if they bring it to 3-3, oh, man, I can only imagine. But that seems tough. That seems really tough. Aaron Robinson says, "Hello, Throb. Good seeing you again. Question: who funds the Negril Chamber of Commerce? It's it's privately funded. Nobody funds it. It's funded by the directors essentially. So they do several fundraisers during the year. Let's see if I can remember them. They do a summer soiree in July. I'm not sure if they had one last year, but that's when they usually do it. And then they do the annual Christmas dinner, and that's like the two biggest fundraisers that I can recall. But it's not government. It's not government funded. Okay, clarification from Dr. Joni. On the water issue, there should be some economic reinvestment into the communities from hotel revenues, at least 50% into the communities. I mean, that is that is really, I would say, that's the government's job to do that in terms of like how it's allocated. It should be done automatically. It should be done automatically. And I don't know if you're saying 50% of revenues of a hotel. I mean, I don't know of a hotel that has the margins to do that, and I feel like in we're a fairly we're in a fairly tight ship here at Travelers, I'd say. But 50% of gross revenue going to the community, like nobody would be in business anymore if they did something like that. However, I do agree that something should, and this is kind of what we were talking about earlier when we were talking about the general consolidation fund, is we don't get to decide that as a community. We don't get to decide where tax revenues go to because we don't have control of those funds, and two, to begin with, we're not a municipality, so we don't necessarily have an individual to go to parliament or the wider government to lobby on our behalf for specific needs that we have that are unique to our community. So that's the challenge in being a town that goes across two different parishes. Shannon says, Throp, question, the direction where you are taking your content as it relates to bridging the gap between viewership and real estate resources, realtors will get referral fee or incentives. So haven't worked that out. So technically, because I've already looked into this, trust me, because I'm not a realtor, I can't directly financially benefit from, say, like a sale or something like that. However, we could and like you know what I'm saying, like I can't be treated as a realtor is what I'm like. That's the main thing. I cannot be realtor, and like uh I get it, but I kind of don't get it. But on the other end, I can do marketing for realtors, I can do marketing for developments, I can do marketing for real estate companies, or whatever have you, and I'm more than happy to do so. um but it's, even doing that sort of content, like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And we're still, like, here at Thought Media, we're still trying to figure out that model. But it's also like one of those things, like I feel like the word about a lot of these developments and these projects coming up, like it needs to get out. Like people need to know about it globally, locally. And I'm not saying that there's nobody else out there doing it. Like I think there are people who are doing it, but um hopefully, this is kind of what my speech was about, at the real estate conference, was like advocating that realtors really invest in their content creation. Because I know I'm not going to do this forever. I know I'm not going to always be making real estate videos. I love it. I love telling the stories of these different developments and individuals and the players. Like that's where my passion lies, not necessarily about like real estate itself, you know. And so uh like with the speech, it's just like I was hoping that I gave us is like, I hope that I made the point and hit the point home that it's so important that realtors really step their content creation game up. And for those who are not in it, period, are not doing anything, it's important to start like yesterday, because we are competing. Jamaica, as we say all the time, we're not competing like Negril versus Montego Bay. It's Negril versus Tulum. It's Montego Bay versus Punta Cana. And the realtors there, realtors slash content creators in those areas, they're doing better. If they're doing a better job than we are at scale, then they're going to win. They're going to get more eyeballs on their product. They're going to educate the world in a more effective manner about what their product it has to offer. Where we might have, and I'm not saying we do or not, but I mean there could be, we might have the superior product. We might have a product that perfectly aligns with a particular individual, but they have no idea about it because the realtor agent slash content creator in Punta Cana put out better content more frequently and more accurately about what they have to offer than the counterparts here in, say, Montego Bay or Negril, right? And so it's very, very important that we push this as a community of real estate professionals, and we we put out our content as much as we can and become really, really, really good at it, because there needs, I mean, and I'm not saying like I'm the best in the world at this or anything like that, but there needs to be more of me. Like this, is really what I'm really trying to say. Like there needs to be more drops out there. There needs about putting out different types of content. I mean, at scale, putting out content. Because like if I could only do, say, one of these every 2 months, for example, and I'm definitely not the only one doing it. I'm not saying that at all. But like, what if there's only 3 of us compared to the 10 who are doing it in Punta Cana? They're going to win every time. They're going to win every time because we just don't have the volume. They might have a bigger population and everything, fine. But it doesn't mean that we can't put out, we can't combat that with uh, with quality. And I also think that we can even compete on quantity as well. I really do. I haven't really looked into numbers, but I'm sure if I look into it, I can come up with like a better strategic idea of how this can be done. But my point at the end of the day is like we really need to put out this content. Ray says, "What are your thoughts on Negril as a parish?" Yeah, it needs to. I think it has to happen at some point. If it's not a parish, like become. I think it has to be a parish. And how far does that go? How far does because you're gonna eat into how far does Negril go, right? And where do you cut off in Westmoreland? Where do you cut off in Hanover? And you already know like certain certain cutoffs are going to want to become part of Negril. Like if you look at like Grand Palladium, they say that they're in Negril. Like Grand Palladium is not in Negril. Like, come on, what are you guys talking about? Who are you fooling? I've met so many people that they'll be like, "Oh, I'm staying in Negril." They're like, "Where?" And I'm like, "Where?" They're like, "Grand Palladium." I was like, "You're not staying in Negril. That's not Negril. That's Lucy. That's Lucy." But the brand Negril name is strong, very, very strong. And there are a lot of townships that would want to be just kind of pulled in under that umbrella. So how that whole procurement process would work about, cutting off this, putting off like where this border is and where that border is, I have no idea. I have no idea. Howard says, is it possible to create an official town manager independent of the government, which such an office could work in collaboration with the Negro Chamber of Commerce? We looked into this. We've been wanting and advocating. We've been wanting and advocating for this for a long time. I think that would do very, very well. It obviously, I feel like they would need to have some sort of teeth, But I think it's a great idea. This says at least it keeps the municipality status as something to address. Arlene chiming in from New York. What's going on? Make a good life. Delroy says, "Are you able to get more cameras around the Grove Beach Road or roundabout, etc.?" I think that's important. I think we need to continue to build that out. I don't know where that is as far as like on the priority list about getting more cameras, building out the Jamaica Eye, but I think it's a good idea. We need more. The more, the better. Shannon says, bottom line, you want realtors or real estate agents to step up their content game. Absolutely. No question. No question. It's so important. We're going to watch this video in a second. I don't know how many people saw the interview that I did with the agency, and I'm thoroughly impressed with their content creation. Just like top notch. And even with the interview that we're going to watch in a second, they were talking about the guy Ian. He's talking about storytelling. And like that is so important. Like that's everything. And during my presentation that I was making, I'd asked everybody like, have you guys seen the Pinnacle video that I did? And I want to say 50 to 70% of the people in the room put their hands up. And one point I forgot to hit home was like, I made a point that in that video, like I didn't talk about square footage. I didn't talk about the granite countertops or whatever. I didn't talk about any of that. I didn't even put a price there. Didn't even put a price in that video. What I did was tell the story of the players who were involved in this, of the three Jamaican, of the leadership of the three people who are females and Jamaican born. And that's the story. The Pinnacle is great. It's 4 stories, 28 tower stories. Amazing. It's going to be beautiful. But who are the people behind it? Like, what's the story? Why are they doing this? Who's involved? And in doing that and taking that strategy, so to speak, their phone has been, and this is like the point I forgot to bring home, which is actually the punchline, is that their phone is ringing off the hook. And this is coming from their sales department. They're barely, and the first week they couldn't keep up with the phone calls. They couldn't keep up with the emails. And they are very, very happy, extremely um, very happy with what they did. Like I'm pausing because I feel like, and I told my team this, and they're like, "You're crazy." Like, I feel like that video underperformed, and I feel like that video could have done better than it has done. And they're like, and maybe this is just being overcritical about my process and how I put everything together, or whatever. But my point is like we, at the end of the day, it was a bang up job for sure, and because of the strategy and the story that we took, the storyline that we took, they are overwhelmed with inquiries now, which is phenomenal. This is what I wanted for them, and this is great. And this is what I will want for every development. Every development that I work with. Same thing with St. Thomas with Suncoast Beach Club. We didn't talk about square footage. We didn't talk about what the doors are made of or anything like that. What we did, we told the story of St. Thomas. We told the story of St. Thomas. Like, people don't want to be, and I'm not telling anybody how to do their job at all. I'm not saying that. I'm not telling any realtor how to do their job, but I'm just using myself as an example of the impact that content and good content, and I always say good content, good storytelling can have on your business or a development. And so with St. Thomas, same thing. And that video did phenomenal. Again, the inquiries are crazy. Kevin was like, "Hey, I want to be a sponsor again." Like, this was like early this year. He's like, "Sign me up to be a sponsor again for ThropX." And I'm like, "Man, I appreciate that." And like, I want to like reciprocate. And that was like, he's a platinum sponsor for ThropX 2023, right? And so with St. Thomas specifically, and when he told me about the ribbon cutting ceremony, like, I had to be there. Like, Kevin didn't pay me to be there. He didn't pay me to do the video, like nothing. But it was just off of the strength that this guy trusted and believed in what I was doing, and put the money up to become a platinum sponsor. I'm going all out for this guy. I drove out there, put myself up, everything. I went all out for him, and look what's happening. Again, like, I don't know how many units, and maybe I could ask him how many units got sold from that video, but I was more than happy and excited to tell the story of his development and of what he was doing, and getting an understanding of all the people who were involved. Again, I didn't tell you how big the room was, and nothing like that. I didn't try to sell you. And like, that was again part of my speech. Like, don't sell. You don't need to sell, especially properties like those. You don't need to sell, but people want to know about like who's involved. They want to know about the communities around it, like where the kids could go potentially. What else is happening in the area? Why are they doing this now? Because like, you're just building this like comfort. And then this goes, and like, I think like a potential investor, right? And this goes for us in this community. I was just like contemplating, should I invest in this parish? Should I invest in Jamaica, period? And getting all these tidbits of information and getting understanding, and it could be positive or negative, right? Both the challenges and the advantages to this country, to these developments. And you are able to make, hopefully, a well-informed decision that is coupled with a video that we put out, with whatever research that you do on your own. So yes, realtors in Jamaica, I think there's a lot of room. And again, and I'm not talking down to anybody. I just think there's a lot of room for improvement. And I was also saying this with especially like the seasoned veterans, the seasoned realtors. And some of them already told me that they were just like, and no disrespect to the young rookies taking out their cameras, but they were even saying that there are young realtors who are coming into the game who are getting, who are basically cutting the line because of their content. And you may have 20 years of real estate experience in Jamaica that could probably go through the process a little bit quicker or more efficiently. You have the network, yada yada yada, but you're not putting out videos. But this young stallion who's 25 years old or 24 years old that just got their real estate license is putting out content every week about different places around Jamaica. They're going to get more eyeballs. And we got to think too, is like, these videos are working for you while you're sleeping. And so you can't be at every and take every phone call, and you can't be at every site visit or tour or yada yada yada. But if you take the time to make this one video about this property that you tell the story of, whatever storyline you're going to decide. When you're sleeping, there's somebody in Germany that's watching that video. There's somebody in Japan that's watching that video. I'm like, I never thought about investing in Port Antonio before. I never even knew that they were doing yada yada yada. But because you took the time and you invested in making that video, now you've given yourself an opportunity to showcase a product to somebody who may not even consider it in the first place. And so that was the thinking and the push for me to really have content be a priority for the real estate industry. And again, because like I'm not gonna do this forever. I'll tell you that. It's not like I'm not leaving this year, I'm not leaving next year or anything like that. But I would love if we had like an army of like content creator realtors. And I know we'll get there. I know we'll get there at some point. Stop. This is from Joe. Do you watch the YouTube channel Property Viewers? When I watch this channel, I feel like I'm watching HGTV. Yeah, I do. Great, another great channel. I think they're doing, and I've been watching them like from where they started to where they are now. You see the improvement. And that's what I love about that channel because you look back and like I will, and I'll just use myself as an example. Like I'll look back at my first videos that I did, and I'm like, in the moment, I was like, oh man, this is amazing, this is great. But then like a year, 2 years later, I'm just like, oh, that's garbage. How could I have even ever put this out there? And like I'm sure they feel the same way about their content because there has been such a drastic improvement in the quality of their content. And like you said, Joe, yes, HGTV, phenomenal channel, great channel. I think they're a huge asset for the Jamaica real estate industry, and more of that. I mean, I would say copy them. Like use see, look what's working, and just do it. I mean, not copy, but get some inspiration, do a version of that. Um, yeah, they do a great job. They do a great job, Joe. Aaron says, if I recall correctly, Negril border has now extended to Green Island. I think I heard that government mentioned that about 2 years ago, and with the new border buildings, we'll be able to go 10 stores. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, about the Negril being extended. What I think you're conflating here is that Hanover, particularly, I mean, sorry, Negril is divided into two parishes, and the Hanover side, particularly of Negril, has the ability to go um I think 10 stories, but it's based on density. And so there is a huge distinction between how high you can build in Hanover versus Westmoreland in Negril, which is crazy, and we as a community think that's very unfair. But there are adjustments being made in the building ordinance in Westmoreland to, I don't know if it's going to completely balance the equation, but there are major changes coming as far as I know. But and I've heard even Molly Dixon, who's part of the Negril Green Island Planning Authority, had mentioned it at ThropX, but nobody could say when. Nobody knows when. It could be tomorrow, but it could be next year, it could be the year after that. But it's been in process of a review for a few years now at this point. Shanna says, Throp, okay, I agree. And I'm one like I always want to over deliver on either expectations or if we have an agreement that's it just over go above and beyond. And I mean, even with the real estate conference, they're ecstatic. They're ecstatic with what Throp Media and ThropX was able to do for them with the in the build up and getting the word out for the International Real Estate Conference and Homeowners Expo. And I told them like, where you're really going to get the bang for your buck is post conference, which they weren't necessarily interested in because they're not sure when they're going to do this conference again. But I just know whenever that time is, that now they have high quality media at scale on the internet for people to reference to get a real understanding of what this conference is about and how well it was orchestrated and how important the information and education is at the conference. And so I told them that. And so even with, again, all this post-conference media that I'm putting out, I'm very happy with. And we didn't even put out even one single education session so far. And I'm, again, very happy to give them this to spend the time and dedicate this amount of effort to putting out these pieces of content, because at the end of the day, it's like it's all benefiting Jamaica. It's all benefiting the real estate industry. It's all putting Jamaica, like, from the education standpoint of educating, like, not only our young realtors, but also the realtors who've been in the game for a very long time. And it's making everybody better. It's giving opportunity to developers as well to connect with other people. So I'm very, very happy, excuse me, very, very happy to be a part of this. And again, my mindset is always, how do I over deliver on whatever agreement that we have, or whatever the expectation is. And I just want to blow it out the water with any company, any realtor, any developer that I work with. It's that's just how I operate. That's my baseline. It just says, Drop, I mentioned an article where they were discussing mixed views on Negril becoming a parish above before my previous comment. Not sure if you can locate that article. I'll try to look into it, Tisha. Who I would say, what was the argument against being a parish? Unless you can find the article and just can just read it real quick. All right, let's keep going here. Arn says, Throb, how can the private sector help to change the mindset of the youth to buy into the broader vision of Jamaica? How can there be a mind and thoughts, the influence towards the greater good of Jamaica? Good question. Um, Great question. I mean, ultimately, with everything that's happening in Jamaica, the and I've been saying, like, all of this forward movement and the exciting things that are happening in Jamaica, when all is said and done, the average Jamaican should feel this. Like, the quality of life overall for the average Jamaican should be elevated in proportion with how well the country is doing. And so, oh, and I just try to think, like, how can they feel it directly? And to me, it's like it has to do with two things. It's school and opportunity. That's the only thing, and those are two things. It's just like investing in school, in the infrastructure of school and the quality of education. And then once young people get out of school, that they see and feel opportunity in whatever industry or field that they're looking to go into. And, hopefully that's here in Jamaica, hopefully that's here right at home in the backyard. But also, if there is opportunity for them to go abroad, I think that would be great too. I think it's good for Jamaica and Jamaicans to travel, and I think it's good for Jamaicans and Jamaica to be abroad for an extended period of time, because then you take all that knowledge, information, experience, and you bring it back home. Douglas says, I'm from Clarendon, but Negril will always be my favorite place to visit. Awesome. Alfonso says, what you did for the Pinnacle was amazing in that video. I think the last time I checked, the video was at 107,000 views. Everyone is talking about the Pinnacle after that video. I'll be surprised if it's not sold out already. Yeah, it did. It did numbers. I could tell you that, and even their team is telling me like I said, they're ecstatic. Everybody from the sales team to the executive team, they're very happy. Even both Dominique. Well, Dominique was like, "Oh, well, he is the person that's responsible for making me the most famous person in real estate." And then Isia was just like, you're the reason why my phone doesn't stop ringing, kind of thing. I was like, oh, that's so awesome. That's so awesome. They were saying it in jest, but it just kind of goes to show you the impact of the video, which I'm again very happy that that has happened to that team and to this project. So super pumped for that for them. Tisha says content creation isn't for the faint of heart. I never feel satisfied with my content. Some of them make me cringe a little. It can be really intimidating. I totally agree. I totally agree. One of the things that the sun is beaming on me. One of the things that I said in my presentation, the examples I gave was like how long it took me to actually build up the courage to um how long it took me to build up the courage to actually press publish and to upload a video to YouTube. And one of the things that I told myself, and I'm very critical, self-critical, just like you are, Tisha. One of the things I told myself in the lead up to hitting that first publish button, pressing that first publish button for one of my first video, was that no matter what, I'm going to be 100% authentically Winthrop. And at least for me, I always thought back to like particular people in my life or in my past, actually, of like, oh, what would that person think? What would they say? And eventually realize like whoever those people that you have in your head that you're afraid to be judged by, it's just like they probably don't care. And they're probably not paying as much attention to you as you think they are. And the other thing was that I was like, people are gonna hate me for whatever it is I do. It doesn't matter, you know. It doesn't matter, and that's anybody. You're always gonna find somebody who just purely doesn't like you, disagree with you, and you're also gonna find on the opposite side people who love you and who agree with you and really support what you are doing and understand what you are doing. And so, on either side of that coin, I told myself that I want either them to love me or hate me. I just want to make sure they're doing it for who I am. And in my mind, you're going to attract who is attracted to you. You're going to detract. I was at complete peace once I got to that point mentally, and I could, you know, make content and do these live streams at length because I've kind of just accepted that. You know, that's just the way the internet works. That's the way the world works. So keep making that content, Tisha. You're right. I wish I could edit like you. Your editing skills are fine. It took a long time to get there. It took a long time to get to this point. Many hours of tutorials, multiple courses, paid and unpaid courses that I took. Even now, I'm continuing to do that. Reading different editing books, listening to different. I mean, this sounds like the most boring thing in the world, but like, I will listen to editing podcast, like legit. It will be. I edited in Final Cut Pro, and these guys are just nerding out on editing. And I just like, and editing is such a visual thing, but like once you kind of are in that world, listening to it does almost just as much justice as actually watching somebody going through the editing process. And so I'm very much like fully engulfed in this world of editing and being a filmmaker and being a storyteller. So yeah, if you need any resources in that regard, please let me know. I was even coming off of the real estate conference. I was even considering doing some sort of course. I might still do it, but really backed up right now. I'm considering doing some sort of group coaching course over the summer. But even without that, Tisha, if you need any resources in regards to at least the ones that I used for my to learn how to edit, I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction. Simone says, I totally agree. Property Reviews provides a great view experience. Riva says, the average Jamaican isn't benefiting and won't until the country becomes more capitalist in nature. 80% of tertiary educated people migrate for a reason. And I agree. I mean, I think that needs to be reversed. That needs to be reversed. And that comes with opportunity or creating opportunity. Andrew Miller says, I'm a STEM education consultant in Atlanta, and I'm interested in bringing STEM opportunities to Jamaica. There are answers to the questions presented. Awesome. Marcia says, congratulations for STEM. I'm a scientist. Oh, amazing. Congratulations to you, Marcia. Just says arguments against it from this is just talking about the arguments against Negril becoming its own parish. Arguments against it from persons in the community include dividing Jamaica into even more parishes. Also, they mentioned Negril as a parish would be too small. Articles in Jamaica Observer. Thank you. It will be too small depending on where you cut Negril off at. Yeah. But I'll try and find that article. Shanna's gone. Have a great week as well. Thanks for coming on. Natural Yard says, just joining content creation is fun until you start chasing subscribers. I'm still doing it for fun. Yeah, keep doing it for fun. Keep doing it for fun. I think once you lose that, then I told my team, I was like, man, once this thing starts turning into like a job, I know I'm gonna walk away. But I think I'm very, very far from that. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, a lot of fun just using my creative insight and just kind of taking my ideas that I have and turning them to like these like tangible manifestations, which is amazing. K White says, how was the real estate conference? I wanted to be there but couldn't make it. It was great. I think we just talked about earlier. I'm putting out content about from the real estate conference like this entire week. So every day next week, or this week, sorry, starting tomorrow, there will be content from the conference. This says, wow, that makes sense. And it shows in your content. I'll take any information you throw my way. Can you just shoot me an email, Tisha? And just so I can just like, I just send you like a bunch of different resources that you could use. Throp@thropmedia.com. I'd be more than happy to send that to you. All right, all right, so we're supposed to talk about STEM. We're talking about a bunch of different things. So let's man, the sun is beaming right now. I want to talk about STEM real quick, and then we're going to we're going to rewatch, or maybe, you know what? All right, we'll see how we feel. I'm not going to make any commitment yet. We'll see how we feel after this. The sun is just really bothering me. So this is just a post from the Prime Minister's Instagram page. Jamaica declared a STEM island. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has proudly declared Jamaica a STEM island. This decision signifies a commitment by the government to fostering innovation, driving economic growth, and empowering Jamaicans to excel in the global knowledge economy. Prime Minister Holness said that by embracing science, technology, engineering, and mathematics as a national priority, Jamaica will unlock its full potential, driving prosperity, peace, and productivity in a sustainable and equitable way for all Jamaicans. I am pleased to declare Jamaica a STEM island with a vision of fostering innovation, driving economic growth, and empowering people to thrive in the global knowledge economy. Through our collaborative, all hands on deck approach, government, private sector, academia, and civil society, we work towards this goal. Jamaica is now officially declared a STEM island, said Prime Minister Holness. The government has for the last 5 years been working seriously on ensuring that Jamaica becomes a digital society, and that digital society agenda has several elements to it. Starting with, of course, the construction of 6 STEM schools, meaning schools that will be pulled out of the traditional modality of education, run under a different education regulation that is designed specifically to promote this agenda of developing the Jamaican who does not fear mathematics, does not fear engineering, does not fear science, that embraces it, and that will use it for the education creation of value for the Jamaican people, said Prime Minister Holness. Prime Minister Holness also underscored that the government's commitment comprises of a series of tangible actions, including the rollout of free Wi-Fi hotspots and investments in broadband infrastructure. Additionally, initiatives such as the STEM Tertiary Scholarship Program demonstrates a dedication to nurturing the next generation of STEM leaders. With a commitment to nurturing entrepreneurship and innovation, Jamaica will develop ecosystems conducive to startups and innovators across STEM industries, including biotechnology, information technology, and advanced manufacturing. The island is set to leverage STEM to harness its rich cultural heritage, monetizing talents in music, arts, and other domains. In the meantime, the Prime Minister commended the chairman of the Jamaica STEM for Growth Foundation, the Honorable Glenn Christian, for his unwavering efforts to fulfill the vision of Jamaica to become STEM island. And I think that's awesome. I think that's what we need in many ways. But so let me stay on topic here. So I think this is a great, fantastic. We did a podcast, a live stream. I don't know if y'all remember. This got to be like 2 years ago, and the name of it was called Silicon Island. And to me, it's like how Jamaica becomes a Silicon Island is through programs and initiatives of this nature that really take a long-term approach to making our society and the people in it very productive individually, right? And when we look at the Jamaican workforce, as we talk about competing globally, we need to continuously maintain that mindset that we are competing globally. And can we, can our young people, can our workforce compete against that of the Dominican Republic, of a, I'll even go as far as Singapore, Philippines? Do we have the work ethic? Do we have, uh, again, collectively as a generalized workforce? How can we compete best at the highest of levels? And to me, it's investing in programs like this. Now, when I think about, like, so this is young people, and without a doubt, I think 80-90% of our effort needs to be focused on these young people, our young people, and our future. But it's also, I also think, when you go back to the couple of interviews that I did with Anu L, who is the CEO and founder of Crimson Tide AI, and when he's looking at hiring either engineers or these high level jobs in IT, and he wants to hire Jamaicans, but he can't, and he has to go outside. And we were talking about Jamaica really using AI as a way to catapult itself and to kind of bring in like tons and tons of talent in Jamaica into that space. And he's essentially saying from the interviews, this is like, we're not producing enough talent. When you look at the workforce, like, we're not producing enough talent to take advantage of the direction that the world is going, the direction that Jamaica is going in right now. And we just kind of like, we're like on the spot, we're just kind of spitballing different ideas of like how we can incentivize a program of this nature, and how we could work together to get more young people along this line. And this was before this post and this article, but definitely very similar along the lines of a lot of things that we were talking about. Jamin 1288 says, this is a great step forward. Growing up, I knew the island produced strong engineers, so we need to leverage a strong history. Exactly. Corey, you unfortunately, I absolutely agree. Are you talking about on my point about the not producing enough, like our workforce not producing enough, like, high level talented individuals? Lloyd Roberts says, Throp, in my opinion, your channel is educational. It's different from most other YouTube channels that I observe where the mode is survival. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Get your last comments in about this. I'm gonna start teeing up. Let me maybe take a quick break. I'm gonna tee up the next video. Which one should we do? All right, let's do Joe's video. Smile well. Okay, be back in a couple minutes.
My name is Joanne Oates. I am the founder of the Smile a While Foundation. I have been an occupational therapist for the past 8 years, living and working in New York City. In 2021, I founded the Smile a While Foundation because I knew there was a great need in the Caribbean for therapists to work with special needs children. Being from a Jamaican background myself, I knew firsthand what the experiences are in Jamaica. I know there are a handful of occupational therapists in Jamaica, all located in Kingston, and the rest of rural Jamaica, children are going unserved. And it's not just occupational therapy, it's speech therapy, physical therapy, behavior therapy, all the adjunct therapies that children with special needs require that are readily available in places like the United States, the UK, Canada. But when we think back to island nations, these services are few and far between. So the Smile a While Foundation seeks to fill that gap by providing programming that brings therapists from abroad to work with children here, therapy students from abroad to complete their fieldwork placements here, as well as trying to build capacity with the professionals we already have on the ground in these islands by providing professional development workshops and introducing the latest techniques and interventions to the already practicing professionals here working with these certain populations. We could help to bring knowledge and just increase capacity of how we serve our children with special needs.
That's Joanne Oates, everybody. Great, does really, really great work here in Jamaica, as you can see. All right. All right, let's get into the next video. All right, so this is going to be the last segment. So this is the interview that I did with the agency, and we'll this is raving about Joe. Yeah, so proud of my friend. Great stuff. And we're just gonna watch this together and do some reactions. And I'd love to get people's thoughts on this as we go through it. How should we shut this up? Like, yeah, maybe put me here in the corner. That is you, Joe. Dr. Journey says, as a technologist, this is awesome for Jamaica. I mentor lots of STEM students, IT consultants, and analysis. Great step into tomorrow. I agree. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this a watch. And sorry if you've seen this already, but even if you have seen this already, I think I would love to hear your thoughts on it as we go through. We might skip around a tad bit. Hello, Throppers, and welcome back to another video podcast episode. And for those of you visiting for the first time, a special welcome to you. My name is Winthrop Wellington, and here on my channel, I help you move to and invest in Jamaica. And today we have a really special podcast, and we have two really special guests here with us today. And we're going to be focusing on Jamaica, but also going a little bit outside of Jamaica, still in the Caribbean though. And it is my pleasure to welcome Mr. Ian Hurdle and Rebecca Stevenson to the podcast. Thank you both for being here.
Nice to be here.
Thanks for having us.
And they are both from the agency, which I will allow them to both introduce themselves and what they do and where they do what they do.
Ladies first.
I am Rebecca Stevenson, the managing partner of the agency Jamaica. We are the newest arm of the agency in the Caribbean. We're also in Turks and Caicos, Cayman, Dominican Republic, the Bahamas.
That's it for now.
Yes, for now, but watch his space.
Jamaica.
Amazing, amazing. And so I want to just step outside of Jamaica for a little bit and go to your region of the world and learn a little bit about Turks and Caicos and what's happening there, particularly in real estate.
So we have, if the media is to be believed, the preeminent luxury real estate destination in the Caribbean, tourism-wide globally. Everybody wants to go to Turks because Drake wants to go to Turks. Everybody else wants to go to Turks. So we have a thriving.
Has anybody been to Turks and Caicos? I haven't been there, but there's like he's gonna continue going on. But there is truth to this. Like I do see a lot of celebrities going there. And sometimes I'd be getting jealous. I was like, yo, why isn't Drake coming to Jamaica? Like this is his heritage, this is his roots. But he has been here before, so no beef. But a lot of athletes go to Turks as well. I wish I asked more questions along those lines, to be honest. It's like kind of why, or I guess it's like he's saying it's just like a higher end product maybe, but it's interesting. But yeah, if anybody in here has been to the Turks, how was it? Did you enjoy it? Is it all what it's cracked up to be, kind of thing? It sounds like it is.
Estate market right now, lower inventory, and obviously we're 10% of the size of Jamaica, so we're very much a higher end product. Prices are being escalated because of that lack of inventory. We don't have the vibe that you have. We don't have the mountain ranges that you have. We don't have the agriculture that you have. Our tourism is probably 25% of what you have that comes in, but because we're only 10% of the size, that makes.
No, but I see what you're saying, Tisha. I know he comes to here regularly, but like I heard like Popcorn and him have beef, and like it's like Popcorn that is essentially saying like Drake has been suppressing him, or OVO has been suppressing his career, and he just like couldn't wait to get out of his contract, as a matter of fact. So I don't know if that's kind of what slowed him down from coming to Jamaica, or where that relationship lies, but that's like the last thing I heard.
It's a meaningful impact on a very small island, and as a result, we're seeing some big sales. I represent properties as high as $40 million US, not Jamaican dollars.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'll say on that the 40 million US dollars, I don't know of any properties in Jamaica that are falling into that. I'm assuming he's talking residential properties here, but it doesn't matter. Like I don't know of any $40 million properties. Definitely none in Negril. The other week we talked about, I think, the cave selling for, I think, 18.9 million in Negril. I mean, that is up there, that property is 18.9 million. I don't know where Travelers is at, but that's a lot of money for that property. I have, maybe one day we can go into that, go into the details on my thoughts on that. But yeah, no property that I know of in Negril that's going for $40 million. Only thing I'm thinking is maybe and if you came to Thropex last year, man, I forget the name of the property, but is the Coca-Cola Heiress's property in deep West End. Maybe that is like a $40 million property. Maybe. I'm not sure, but I mean, that property is ginormous. I mean, acres and acres and acres. So, and I'm just trying to think of other places around Jamaica that could go for that. But it's just interesting.
And I guess that obviously creates a scarcity, and that obviously creates what you're saying, a demand of a higher caliber. And with that, like, what is attracting and driving the real estate market in your sector?
So
I see Grizzle says, wait, Drake made Turks hot. I feel like that too. And like sometimes it's this crazy influence, like what the power of influence. Like it just takes one person. Like if you think about it, if Drake came to stay at Travelers, like it's over. You know what I'm saying? And like next thing, like, oh, God forbid he puts it in a music video, like it's over. Like you couldn't you wouldn't be able to come here, kind of thing. And then it doesn't even have to be travelers. It could be like Negril and him being on a boat and having a good time, like that sort of thing. I mean, it does like a lot, like having these celebrities and ultra famous people come to just even regions will really make an area popular.
So sand, water are the two main drivers. Grace Bay Beach is considered to be, if not the best beach in the world, one of the top beaches in the world. We have great infrastructure. A lot of luxury brands are now developing vertically. We have a St. Regis, we have a Ritz-Carlton in place, Amanyara, Waimara. So we've got the brands there that speak to the higher.
I honestly haven't heard of half the brands that he was talking about. I was like, had no idea. And I had no idea what he's talking about, but like we don't have those brands. We don't have Ritz-Carlton anymore. We don't, as far as I know, we still don't have any Michelin star restaurants in Jamaica, as far as I know. But yeah, we I feel like we're heading in a direction of like I've been saying, like we're heading in like a luxury direction, but definitely still not there yet. But like a lot of things are coming in place investment wise that is kind of, you kind of see the handwriting on the wall, so to speak, with the different types of investments and developments that are coming, but not to the level that he's talking about, that Ian's talking about.
Price points. And again, it's just become a celebrity buzz place, pretty much off the back of social media. So even before the pandemic, we were already up on that upward curve. And post-pandemic, of course, as that sort of buzz has grown and everybody has learned about Turks, and we're in all the videos and all the basketball players and the football players and everybody else that comes along posts about us, obviously that drives interest and that drives traffic. If nothing's there to buy, and this is where the segue into Jamaica comes, like I work with a lot of developers, we have very little true beachfront product left. They want to do projects, they can't do it in Turks, hence the interest in Jamaica. And listening to the speakers earlier today, obviously Jamaica is open for business in terms of bringing those developers in. And that's where hopefully I can bring some value as my role as a partnership to Rebecca.
Amazing. And bringing it back over to Jamaica, Rebecca.
Back to Jamaica. Yeah.
And so I've actually been following you for a while, but before you were the agency. And I could tell you, like, one of the main things that drew me to your profile, your style and everything like that was like what you put into your social media and what you put into showcasing Jamaica. And that was like one of the inspirations for me, is that like I saw in the market that there wasn't a lot of people who were doing what you were doing at your level in terms of, I would say, showcasing the best of Jamaica at a level that it deserves to be. And so with that, like, where did that inspiration come from to make the media, social media, the content that you're creating be put at the level that you're producing it at?
Well, I can tell you that Ian has been an amazing inspiration to me. He has. We started following Ian and we were like, oh my gosh, we had never seen real estate marketed in that way. I mean, the lifestyle that Jamaica has to offer is so special in the Caribbean and so distinct. The culture, the vibe, the energy, and
And so, like, I think this is one thing perhaps I don't talk enough about. I was kind of being critical about myself, is really the lifestyle here in Jamaica. And perhaps that's what I was alluding to with my sharing my experience in Treasure Beach and in White House yesterday, is that the lifestyle here is pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. And I definitely don't do a good enough job of emphasizing and showcasing that. And especially, I feel like kind of once you find your tribe or whatever it is that you're into, it's I think Jamaica generally is like a supportive place. And if you find your tribe, they're going to support you like crazy. And I think it was, hold on, Tisha, was it Tisha? Yeah. So Tisha said, I've never been, but I talk about Turks and Caicos. I've never been, but I assume like Bahamas, beautiful, pristine beaches, but boring. Yeah. And I agree. Like, that's the thing with Bahamas. I was just like, what? I was like, where's the culture? You know? And sometimes, I know this was a little quite some time ago, you know, sometimes like my mindset, or at least it used to be, was, you know, you're in Jamaica and you're going to another Caribbean island and you're like, or at least that's what I thought, like, oh, it's gonna be the same. Not even close. Like not even close. Just doesn't have the pizzazz, the grit, the culture, the jovialness of Jamaica and Jamaicans. And it's something unique and very, very special, honestly. Um, yeah, I noticed that very, very quickly when I was in the Bahamas. I was like, man, this place is boring. Thank you, Tisha. Cool place. I'm definitely go back. I'm sure I'm gonna go back. Yeah, can't really compare to Jamaica in that sense.
We're pro Jamaican, and I just want to put positivity out there on my social media and show what my country is all about. In terms of the real estate, wow, I mean, from great houses to large swathes of land to condos to villas on the beach. I mean, we literally have such a diversity of real estate. So, you know, it's exciting. It's
If I could
exciting
segue
space.
off the great
And she's so right about that, the diversity that we have here. And Kerry Wallace, I can't wait to put his speech out. He gave a speech at ThropX last year talking about just like how you can view the beauty of Jamaica in so many different ways, from so many different levels. And he started with like being here on the ground level, on the beach, as you can see, like how beautiful it is. But then when you go into like our mountain ranges, and then you go up tier by tier by tier, it just becomes, there's a different type of beauty that you're able to observe by being in the mountains. And no, forget it if you're in like, if you have a sea view from in the mountains, like I think Ochi is like one of the greatest places that has, I mean, a lot of places, Montego Bay too, actually. But to be up in the mountains, and then to like live the mountain life, but also to have that beautiful view, and then of course have the culture as well.
point that she's making, and again, what she's getting to is selling a lifestyle.
That's right.
Consumers can buy anywhere in the Caribbean. Why are they going to buy in Jamaica versus Dominican Republic versus Turks and Caicos versus Bahamas? First and foremost, you're selling your country. You're selling your lifestyle. You're selling your culture. Once you've got that, once you've got somebody on the hook because they love the story that you're telling, then the process of selling them a house or finding them a home is easy.
Easy.
Yeah. So it starts with the lifestyle.
Good, excellent point. And I actually had never heard of the agency until you put out a video on the collaboration and the partnership that you had. Why was it important for you to have the partnership that you have with the agency?
I feel like when I found the agency, I found my tribe. Honestly, it is a culture of collaboration. We're a global network. We're professional. We share, you know what I mean? And we collaborate to make things happen, and our clients win. And just meeting Ian, it was like I'd known him my whole life. Like, honestly, when my husband and I met Ian, we're like, this is it. Like, whatever he's doing, we want to be a part of it. Where do we sign up? And we haven't looked back, and it's been a phenomenal response. And I think the Jamaican real estate industry was ready for the agency and ready for this collaborative approach. And I am on the board of the Realtors Association of Jamaica, and I, champion collaboration and working together, co-broking, and really utilizing the MLS to have everyone win, really. And that's the ethos of the agency. Luxury is not a price point, it is an experience. And that is why I wanted to be with the brand.
I love that. I love that. And trust me, like when I saw that video, I was just like, this is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
This is what I'm talking about, because it is like you said, the lifestyle here is amazing, but what's that story behind it? How are you going to tell that story? So people who are watching these videos and consuming this content, I can see myself in there. I can see myself doing this, or I want to aspire to owning a place like that and living that lifestyle. And I think that's very, very important.
I mean, I train agents at home, obviously in other islands. We're hoping to do the same here. If you're truly a good real estate agent, you're telling the story.
Mhm.
of not just the product that you're selling, not just the lifestyle, but who you are. So you can't get a more authentic personality than Rebecca.
Thank you.
Truly Jamaican. Everything that pours her is Jamaican, and what you want to buy into as much as you're buying a product. So social media and going back in that allows you that sort of corridor to tell the story on a daily basis and keep putting up the story of Rebecca and make real estate. And it's easy platform to do that if you really understand.
Right. And what are you most excited about in the real estate market here in Jamaica?
Wow, I think there has been a huge interest in properties, historic properties mainly. So I'm seeing a lot of great houses made of cut stone on like 200, 300 acres of land that have been in families for generations coming to the market. And I'm so excited about that because international investors want to come here. They want these unusual properties. I'm excited also about wellness and wellness tourism and how that's going to impact the real estate market, particularly psilocybin therapy. I have been preaching the psilocybin gospel for like the last 5 years, and that retreats are really, going to be the future of real estate in terms of.
So a couple things. So one, I want to hear your thoughts on psilocybin retreats. So it kind of got, I don't know if you call it popular, but like at least in this side of the island in Treasure Beach, they do, I forget the name of this company, but they specialize in psilocybin retreats in Treasure Beach. And yeah, so I just wanted to know what you all think about that. And mushrooms here are legal in Jamaica, and they are selling these mushroom chocolates. Like you can get them a lot of places, or even these this one company called Vibey Caps. They sell them in like these pill formats, kind of thing. But people come for that experience, and so just want to hear your thoughts on that. And then the other thing was Rebecca's talking about retreats in general, and I think that is a huge market. We have several yoga retreats that we do here at Travelers that come from people from all over the world come to these things, but Jamaica is like, and I get this from a lot of people, and I appreciate this now more than ever. Is like, but Jamaica is such a healing place, and it really, really is. A lot of people come here to find themselves if they're lost. A lot of people come here for guidance. A lot of people come here to be healed after going through, whatever it is that they have gone through in their life. And it's just interesting that and I really, what really opened, or how this really opened up in my mind, was having a conversation with Jackie Lewis from Jackie's on the Reef, and she was just kind of just explaining and breaking it down to me why that is, and like why she came here originally 35 years ago or something like that. And so it's just something that I think we as Jamaicans shouldn't take for granted, and also to use it to our advantage. This being either our home countries or our backyards or whatever have you. And we're humans. We all go through things. We all go through challenges, um, unfortunate situations, and sometimes we need to get away. Maybe we need to get away to Treasure Beach or Port Antonio, or go up in the mountains somewhere and just be by ourselves, reconnect with nature, whatever have you. And Jamaica is such an amazing, amazing place, a place for that. So I do hope that there is a more general recognition of Jamaica being such an amazing place for healing, and also as Rebecca was talking about, for retreats as well. I think it's a great place for yoga retreats, and we're starting to see. We just finished one, I think, last week or the week before, and it went well, and they continue to go well. I think Jamaica is a great spot for these kind of things. There's another comment. Oh, Corey MPA says, we Jamaica have a lot to do, but those places have this thing called safety. It's a trade-off, unfortunately. Yeah, so there is what would I say? I was going to say perception. So there is the safety and respect to when you talk about violence, right? And we talk about Jamaica as being the murder capital of the world. But when you look at the safety of, say, these tourists or these celebrities that will come here, it's nothing. It is less than 1%. I always say this, and I'm not saying that any of the violence against the residents here, it should be overlooked or discounted in any way. Not whatsoever. But the reality is that even though it is safe, ultimately extremely safe for tourists and people who are visiting the island, the perception is that Jamaica is a dangerous place because we have high murder per capita, right? And I think once that is cleaned up, and like not cleaned up in terms of headlines or storylines, I'm talking about actually like our murder rate is going down through all of these great things we're talking about with STEM and education and the focus on opportunities and things of that nature. I think that will become more of a short-term problem and a problem of the past, at least from a standpoint of mitigation and it coming down. But fair point, Corey. Fair point to you. Natalie says it is definitely healing, and it's unexplainable to those intended on not understanding. Lloyd Roberts says Jamaica is the third largest island in the Caribbean to Cuba and Hispaniola, which is Dominican Republic and Haiti split in two. Turks and Caicos Island are just another small tourist resort. Trisha says Turks is also not an independent country. It's a British overseas territory that they use the US dollar for their currency. Joe says these retreats, what is the wider benefit to the country? The host of the retreats benefits and the attendees benefits, but does the community benefit? I mean, it goes like, I guess like anybody else who comes here, right? They're coming here as a group. They are, of course, paying their own way, hotel, the airline, and they do tours. They do the retreat at least that's what they did. Like with here at Travelers, they did a bunch of excursions. So it's not like the money is staying at Travelers, and even if the money was staying at Travelers, it's obviously like we spend our money here in Jamaica anyway, and it stays in Jamaica. And then they go out, they have nighttime activities, they go out, they did like a boat ride or something. I think they did a boat ride and several other activities, and they ate out at different restaurants. So there is spread of finance all around, I would say. And I don't know if that answers your question. All right, but let's continue.
These larger properties and having this eco boutique wellness experience. So that's where I see the people coming. They're coming from Canada, they're coming from the States, and they're like, hey, we want something with a river, and we want to house these retreats and do these things. And so I think wellness tourism for sure, and historic properties, major. Yes, of course, we have the villas, we have the condos, we have all of that, but we have some really unusual properties that are going to be changing ownership very soon.
And from where you're sitting, is there a particular region or part of Jamaica that you're seeing just a higher level of activity than you've seen in the past?
Sure. Well, the sleepy parish of Portland, a lot of people are now gravitating towards Portland. I believe it was John Baker from GJAM who said Portland is for dreamers and eccentrics. I'm saying Portland is for musicians. Okay. So a lot of musicians from the world over have been flocking to Portland, particularly San as of late. I'm seeing a lot of action in St. Mary. Now we have a new international airport there now. And so subdivisions like Rio Nuevo, Gibraltar Estate, Galena, which were sleepy subdivisions from like yesteryear, are now waking up, and people are buying lots in these subdivisions and building really very nice homes, vacation homes. So I would say St. Mary and Portland. Yeah.
Gotcha. And from your perspective, Ian, you're saying that you have clientele who are interested in Turks and Caicos, but the market is perhaps too saturated and they can't do whatever dream that they have to do. In what ways where are you diverting them or pushing them here in Jamaica?
So, and again, this was part of the idea that I had when originally bringing the agency to the Caribbean. Obviously, there are any number of factors that can impact a market. So hurricanes obviously being a big one that can dent a market, political situations, whatever it might be. So having multiple offices, and it's taken so many years for US agents, North American agents, European agents, the top producers to have confidence that we're professionals as well. We're not cowboys, to send their customers down. So in my early days and experience, like, you can spend 6 months working with somebody and not find them something in Turks. And then it's like, bye-bye. I've lost all that time and effort. I can't find them something. Now, like, okay, you're priced out of Turks. The land is not available here. The construction costs are so high. Let's go over to Jamaica. Let's spend a week there. Let's spend a week with Rebecca and Taff and go and look at this option and look at that option. Because ultimately, for developers and investors, they're just looking on return on investment versus what they can afford to commit. And as we all know, Jamaica is beautiful. Beautiful. Maybe it doesn't have the same beauty as a Turks or a Bahamas or a Dominican, but it has its own very unique beauty.
I remember, I think it was you, Tisha. You got very upset at that. Hold on, let me see if I can find that. Find that comment. Yeah, it was it was Tisha. Hold on, I'm gonna try to find your comment. 1 second. So this is the part that annoyed me. This was like, Jamaica's beauty can rival with any island in the Caribbean, sir. I agree. I don't know why I didn't push back on that. I don't like. I should have asked him, because like I don't know like what he meant by that. Like, is the water bluer? Is that the island, like, you see, like, it has like the bluest water in the world or something like that? Let me know. And I'm not trying to gang up on Ian here or anything like that. People were tight. But what would make, and this is like curious, my genuine curiosity. Same thing with DR. Like, what would make DR more beautiful than Jamaica objectively? Like I'm talking about like natural beauty. It could be, I would like, and this is like me being critical of Negril. Like we always talk about, like, Negril is like not a clean place, like, and it should be. Like I'm talking about like the town. The beach is clean because that's the bread and butter, right? So the beach is relatively clean. No pollution or litter or anything like that on the beach for the most part. But when you go into like our town, you're just like, what is this kind of thing? And it just has so much more potential to be clean. I see at least this comment here. Excuse me. So yeah, I don't know. People, those who've been to the Dominican Republic or to Turks or anything like that, like, what would he be? What does he mean, like, objectively, like, from a natural beauty? Jamin says, I've been to Turks and Bahamas, and the scenery is different because it isn't as developed. Maybe he meant that. Yeah, maybe that, because like even the Bahamas, like, their water isn't better than ours. I know that for sure. And I mean, maybe I went the wrong time of year, but like, it was cold too. So Tisha, that's why you're in Jamaica, sir, because Turks is just beach. Kiss my teeth. Jamaica's beaches are always on the Condé Nast list for top 10 beaches in the world year after year. I've been to DR. I couldn't even swim because of all the seaweed. I don't know. Yeah. But I would just like to know, like, especially DR. Like, I've been to DR. Like, there's nothing. I was never like, oh, this is more beautiful than Jamaica or anything like that. It kind of was just like, okay. kind of another Caribbean island. I've been to Aruba. Like I think Aruba is beautiful as well. I've been to Cayman Islands, beautiful, small. I think somebody mentioned that above like Cayman is good for Cayman. Turks and Caicos is good for diving. Uh, Perhaps they they beat us at that. I know the when I went to Cayman, Grand Cayman, that was I did scuba there. That was some blue water and blue water, and then they're also like on some tectonic ridge. So, and this is actually kind of scary. You can go, miles out here, and you can still see. I mean, a mile. All right, let's say a mile or two. You can still see the bottom of the old floor in the Cayman. Like you see the ridge, and it's just like blue, dark blue, then black, nothing. And I was like, man, that's scary. That's really, really scary. But it was cool. It was cool scuba diving. All right, let's get back to these comments. Lord Roberts, what is the domestic water situation like in Turks? Do they have shortages like Jamaica? Good question. I'm unsure. I have no idea. But I feel like we have more water. I mean, we obviously have shortages, but I feel like we have more water than they do, based on like our topography here, our natural topography. Grizzle says Turks is overhyped. Let's not pile on. I'm just trying to just figure out the distinctions here more than anything else. I haven't been, so I gotta check it out. But it does seem like a rich person's playground kind of thing. Corey P says DR and Jam look the same to me. Turks Beach, one of the best beaches on the planet, crystal clear like Maldives. Oh, interesting. I gotta check it out. At some point. Now I'm like super curious. Gabe says I've been to the Bahamas and TR. Nothing is better in both places. Sherry says he's selling Turks. Jacqueline says I've been to Turks and I can't imagine a residence listed for $40 million. Maybe it was commercial. Maybe I should ask for clarification on that. So I'm not sure. Gabe says Jamaica is the best. Not going to argue with you on that. Sherry K says sorry they can keep all the other islands. No place like Yad. MDL says Pink Sand is in St. Thomas. Trisha says if you go to Exuma or Abacus, the water is turquoise blue. Dr. Joni says marketing, he positions Cayman and Turks and Caicos, both part of Jamaica pre-1963 independence. The infrastructure investment in these British territories equal money. Trisha says, however, the Bahamas is flat like Turks. Okay. All right, let's keep rolling here. Yeah, I just wanted to pause there and hear what you guys thought on that.
And that's attractive from an investment perspective. That's attractive from a lifestyle perspective. And it's going to draw, as we learned today with the Airbnb, it's going to draw a return on investment. So I think
Absolutely.
having
We have
those
so much
conversations,
undeveloped land.
having those conversations with customers right at the start and saying $2 million is not going to carry you very far in Turks, but you'll be welcomed with open arms in Jamaica. US dollars, not Jamaican. That makes a big difference.
And I'll open this question to both of you. Is there a property or two that you'd like to highlight here?
Absolutely, always. Well, we have Taff, my husband, and I have a wonderful listing on the south coast in Bluefields, Westmoreland. It's called Luna Sea Inn. It is a 8-key boutique resort, and it's on for 1.5 million. And what's special about Luna Sea Inn is it is on a peninsula surrounded by the sea. It's just absolutely gorgeous. The south coast of Jamaica. It's getting a little more attention now, and I think it's the right time to get in there. So I would want to point out Luna Sea Inn for sure.
Plus, there's a lot of consumers that are looking for boutique hotel opportunities in the Caribbean in general.
Absolutely.
I don't think they're particularly worried about which country it is. It's just finding something that they can come in and call their own, rebrand, renovate, Second property, tell them about Shoreham Green.
Shoreham Green is in Sansan, Portland. So as I was saying, Sansan is on the up. Everyone's focused on that. And I have a beautiful 7-bedroom villa on over an acre of land. and it is tucked away and private and serene and amazing. And it's on for $1.2 million for a property that can sleep 14 people. That is an excellent price. So, Ian might have to send some of his Turks and Caicos miles
I'm gonna
over
go
here
look at
now.
all these
Of
properties in the
course,
next
yes,
72 hours.
yes, he's going to be looking at them.
Yeah.
And so, like, with that part of the island, it's like one of those things I look at is like you're getting in at a really, really good time. And could you help us understand kind of seeing, I'm going to do a hockey reference, but like seeing where the puck is going to go before you gets there, and like helping people understand like why it's a good time to invest in that part of the island?
Always a good time to buy. They always say the best time to buy real estate is 5 years ago, and the second best time is today. Don't wait. I've been in the real estate business for 11 years, and I have heard, along the years, oh, the bubble's going to burst, the proverbial bubble. Keep hearing about this bubble. Throp, I've never seen a bubble burst. Okay, the property prices in Jamaica constantly are going up, especially since the
So I've heard this narrative from quite a few realtors. So like, and as like, if you watched, maybe a few of the interviews that I did leading up to the conference, there was like a few. We got into this with a few of the realtor professionals, and they because they're saying the same thing. And I was just trying to get, especially I was talking with the RAJ president. I was trying to get to the bottom of like, why is that? Why is the Jamaican real estate market just so resilient, where it has weathered like every single storm? And I couldn't get to the it's like a multitude of things, but there isn't like one answer, or it's this or because of that, and nobody could tell me like why that is. But there's, without a doubt, when you look at the numbers, it has been an extremely, extremely resilient market for decades at this point. And the prices, like Rebecca is saying, continues to go up. And everybody talks about like this bubble that she's talking about, but it's not bursting. It doesn't seem like it's going to burst anytime soon. If there isn't, it's even a bubble.
Pandemic, right? Everyone wants to be here. So the second best time to buy is no.
All right, I'm getting the signal to wrap up, but I want to switch to the other side of the coin, and that's on the realtor side of things. And I believe very much so wholeheartedly in brand Jamaica, and its future, and particularly in the real estate sector. And a big part of that are the folks who are selling it, like you said, by their personal brand, their personal story. And it's important to have good leadership for the next generation of realtors coming up. And I'm saying this from the perspective because we have one person on our team. She literally just got licensed today.
She needs to come and talk to me.
Yeah.
She needs to come and talk to me because we're recruiting, aren't we?
Always.
So my question is, what advice do you have for young realtors who are, part of the last graduating class, or are just getting into less than a year in the industry?
Don't give up in the first year.
Don't give up in year 10. Yeah.
Don't give up in the first year. Rome wasn't built in a day. I say this to people all the time. I nearly gave up real estate 6 times in my first year.
Wow.
I was just like, whoa, I'm not cut out for this. This is terrible. Stick it out. Know the market. Study the MLS. Study the MLS. Know, so that when you get that call from someone asking for something, you can reel off immediately 3 options that are available because you have studied what is currently on the market. Got to know the market. And the third thing I would say is network and build relationships with your other realtors. I always say the selling agent is my best customer. And if you can't collaborate with people, you're not going to make money in this business. So you have to build relationships with your fellow realtors and get yourself out there. Don't be like obsessed about putting this portrayal of someone on your social media. Put what's real. Be authentic. People need to know you, like you, and trust you in order to buy from you.
great advice.
I reinforce all of that, but perseverance. Don't get highs with the highs. Don't get low with the lows. You're gonna have good days and bad days. Don't look at people that have been in the industry 15 years and think that's going to be me now. Don't look at the flashy videos or the cars or the outfits. Real estate in its basic form on a daily basis is very boring.
I think I thought this was like a really good piece of advice because you know, when you think about real estate, you see the glitz and the glam, especially on social media. And you know, even the agency videos that they make, like they're awesome. They're freaking dope and you get hyped and everything like that. But I think it's important to kind of bring it down to the boots on the ground level of like what is that everyday grind like. And like you said, like Ian saying, it's boring. It's not going to be a real estate conference and where you're bumping elbows with the who's who of the real estate industry in Jamaica and going to different social events. It's boring. You're sitting there, you're pushing paperwork, you're making calls, you're doing comps, you're doing quantitative analysis, like he's saying. And I think that was a great piece of advice that I wanted to just harp on as a for our real estate industry and real estate professionals, especially those who are just starting off.
It's comp analysis. It's data. It's picking up the phone. It's sending emails. It's following up. None of that is exciting.
A lot of paperwork.
But if you do it and you build off it and you build, as Rebecca said, those relationships, I can't think of any other industry that's more rewarding.
Where can people find out more about what you're doing, or if they would like to reach out to you directly?
Well, you can follow me on Instagram. For starters, send me a DM. My handle is rebecca.sellsrealestate. And I'm, of course, the agency Jamaica is a other handle. And just send me a DM if you'd like to reach out to me.
Likewise, I'm very active on Instagram. You'll find me there every day at Caribbean.
You like that play on words? Caribbean.
Love it.
Thank you so
both.
much.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you, Rob.
All right, that's the end of it. Sorry, the sun is coming down. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. I want to do that with a few other interviews. I think of just kind of getting this live feedback so we can interact with one another and kind of dissect these videos and these interviews. I had a lot of fun doing it. It was like just crazy, like back to back interviews, which is cool. And I just want to get them out to you all as quickly as possible. I think they're so valuable. And you know, we got the top people in the industry telling us the inside, giving us insights, and educating us on what's happening and pointing us in, I want to say, like the best direction possible, from the best people possible, right? So we're going to start wrapping up here. Let me just get in the last few comments here. What's going on, Jay Fitz? As an American, the special sauce for Jamaica is the Jamaican culture that still exists. The Bahamas and many other Caribbean islands are too Americanized. Yeah, that's what I thought. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to the Bahamas. Sorry, getting bitten up here. That's what I thought when I went to the Bahamas, like for the first time. I was like, what's their culture? Like, I was like, what is their culture? And it was just like very watered down, super American, very, very Americanized. And, you know, Jamaica has Americanized aspects of it as well, but it was very in your face there. I'm like, damn, this is kind of crazy. So I found that interesting, and it's interesting that you had the same observation as well, Fitz. Just says another great interview thought. Thank you so much. Clarity says sorry for the type, but I'm driving and getting highly irritated listening to his perspective. Period. Jamaica is a black country. Period, and there are low to middle to upper all getting along well. Gotcha. Griddle says I'm building a residential complex, ocean views, and everything you can imagine is like 3 minutes away. That's their development there. But yeah, I think we're gonna close off there. I'm glad we are able to do this together and go through the go through that video and kind of dissect it a little bit. That was a lot of fun. Like I said, we're going to do that with probably like a few more videos. Let me get you back. The sun is really beaming right now. Beach is still beautiful, but I think we're going to close it off right there. This was another great Sunday live stream. These are awesome. Really enjoying them as always. We will be back again next week, next Sunday. I'm traveling next Sunday, but we're still going to do the live stream no matter what. And I will start getting out those videos starting tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So you'll get those in your. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. Just because we're going to be releasing content like so in rapid succession over the next couple of weeks. So please just subscribe if you aren't subscribed. I know a lot of people who watch these live are not subscribed. It's crazy. Hit that as well. It definitely helps out a lot. It gets other people, it makes other people aware that we have this live stream available. And yeah, look at the content that I flood as with week. Always hanging out with you, wishing you all an amazing week ahead, and I'll see you back here on Sunday next week. Have a great week, everybody. Peace.